Hello, my name is Stephanie, and I will be taking you to my statistic final project where I will perform a two-factor ANOVA without replication. So I picked up my data set from Stats Canada, and it is in regards to the estimates of the international migration by quarter. So I took that data and I downloaded it and saved it as an Excel file. Once I saved that as an Excel file, I uploaded it and saved it as my Excel sheet so that when I make any changes, it doesn't change back to the CSV file. And so I have also modified the data to make it look a bit pretty, but in its raw form, it looks more like this. So of course that's hard to read and whatnot. But what is important is that now we can read the data. So the reason I chose the two-factor ANOVA without replication is mainly because we are going to be comparing the quarters itself to see if there is a difference in the mean number of the immigrants/migrants coming to Canada between the quarters. And also, I am just going to be looking for the mean numbers. So we're just comparing the quarters. In order to perform this test, here are the steps. So first of all, we need to decide on the null and the alternative. So for the null, just put that like that, and the alternative. So for the null, we want to put there is no difference between all quarters. And for the alternative, which means not equal, it would be there is a difference between the quarters. And there we go. So that's a null and alternative there for you. Now step 2 is what is the significance level, the decision rule, the F critical, and of course which test. I'm just going to insert another row here, maybe one more because I think I'm going to run out of space. There we go. So the test, of course, it is the two-factor ANOVA without replication test. But for the significance level, we'll go with the, as it was called, industry standard 5%. So we'll do, let's insert symbol. Oops. There it is. Just going to put that there. It is very tiny. Sorry, my keyboard is squeaking. All right, and equals 5%. There we go. So that's my significance level. The decision rule is, let's see here. That means I need to go to the F critical. Need to find the F crit for the ANOVA, pardon me, so that will get my appendix B. And so looking at my data set again, I need to check on the degrees of freedom. So the degrees of freedom would be it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 minus 1. So that's 4. That's for the numerator, unless I'm wrong. And the other portion is for the denominator portion. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so in order to find my degrees of freedom, I do need to do a 4 times 4 equals 16. So my degrees of freedom will be 4, and the denominator will be 16. So that would be, go back to my table. So 4 and 16 is 3.01. So that would be my F critical. That would be what I'm comparing my F sample to when I perform my test. So that is going to be 3.01. There we go. All right. So the decision rule would be if the F sample is greater than 3.01, we will reject the null hypothesis. There we go. All right. So we've got the significance level, decision rule, and F critical. And of course, we know what test we are doing, which is the two-factor ANOVA without replication. Now, because I do love Excel, I am going to actually go to data. I'm going to data, which I did. I'm going to data analysis. I'm going to select the Anova two-factor without replication. There we go. And of course, I previously attempted this just to make sure I do get what I want. And let's just put here. So we want the input range. I like to have the labels there, just so, like that. And the alpha, which is the significance level, 5%. And then the output range, I think putting it there is just fine. And there we go. So this is our result here, the analysis, the ANOVA analysis. Now, because we're comparing the quarters right here, we want to be looking at the columns, right? Because the columns. So we want to look at the columns. And of course, the F critical is 3.01, as we've written on there. And the F sample is right here. So the value that we're looking for the F sample is right here, which is 1.108. All right, so that is the value, 1.108. So let's just write that down. F sample, 1.108. That is the result. Okay. And so that means, basically, when we look at this, 1.108 is definitely less than 3.01 from our critical value. So that means we do not reject the null hypothesis. So as a result, because the F sample result is 1.108, it is less than F critical 3.01. Therefore, we do not reject the null hypothesis. All right, and there we go. And of course, the conclusion, we conclude there we are. So in conclusion, based on this sample, because we want to just let everybody know that it is just based on the sample, there may be evidence that there is no difference between the quarters in regards to immigrants coming to Canada. And actually, that's also immigrants and migrants. So that means it doesn't quite matter what quarter, what part of the year they are coming in. There seems to be no trend. They're all just coming in because they like Canada. All right. So thank you very much. Please enjoy pictures of my dog. And yeah, thank you.